everybody I'm back in the game. Saddle, cut to the chase. I ain't somebody who stays in one place. Ready to go, I'm coming to play. You better know I still got something to say. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know
Happy Monday afternoon to everybody. Welcome to iRacing on LSRTV. Coverage of the SIM500 Esports Racing League and their premier NC811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series. We are ready to go here tonight at the Magic Mile. The Magic Mile, the Tricky Triangle. That's where we're at now. We go from the Magic Mile last week from New Hampshire to the Tricky Triangle here at Pocono, and we are ready to go. What turn 4?
That's right.
Is ready for the next round. Exactly. Yes. Welcome. SIM500. I'm Wesley Outland. John Mustian here. We're 20 seconds in, and it's all coming off the rails. We have fun every Monday night. John, what's up, brother? It's a hot one in North Carolina. I have been doing production for radio, television setup for the last 4 hours. Rust right in the door, and we're ready to go for iRacing here now. Welcome to Pocono, brother.
Welcome. I guess welcome back, really, because you and I just called a race over here for the Northwest guys not too long ago.
And yes, last Thursday. Yes.
So we're probably going to see a little more of the same tonight, maybe a little bit bigger of a field with 34 cars in field tonight, I think. But, man, still looking forward to some cup racing here at Pocono, man. Love it.
It's going to be a fun time. Let's take a look at the weather conditions for tonight's event. There it is, air 79. Wind temperature is 2 miles an hour. Track temp is 110 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy conditions here in the virtual sim tonight. So we're ready to rock and roll at Pocono. Should be a good one here tonight, man. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to watching qualifying with these SIM500 guys because, as we touched on a minute ago, we were here with the Northwest guys last week. And then after that, I went and sat in on a few fixed races in the official series. And I saw some guys putting down unbelievable qualifying laps. We thought the boys at Northwest were fast. I saw a guy put down a 54.2.
Oh yeah.
So let's see what these guys at SIM500 can do tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what they've got up their sleeves for definite sure tonight. This is the SIM500 Cup Series. iRacing on LSRTV tonight from Pocono. We're going to go 200 miles, 80 laps around the Pocono Raceway, which is basically the equivalent, if you will, of a Xfinity or a ARCA race. Bottom line, you got to giddy up and you got to gallop here fast, John. No questions asked. 200 miles will fly by quickly here at the Tricky Triangle.
And you know what else you've got to do here is remember what corner you're going into every single lap, because it's 3 different corners here at Pocono, as we've always known. Very flat or very, round, long, sweeping turns, but they're all different. And I saw a couple of guys today that were doing really good, like up front, and forgot what turn they were going into and completely blew the intro and turn and it cost them a race. And that's a real thing here.
So right now we're looking at about 2 minutes remaining. So, John, I know we're closing in on a couple of more weeks to the round of 20 playoffs. Obviously, there's another 5 weeks of racing counting tonight here at Pocono. But one of the things you mentioned is there is a phenomenal points battle to decide the round of 20 down at the bottom of the barrel.
There really is. Right now, Nelson Rivera has that 20th spot with 5 races to go. And before we go into the points, did you see where the last race is going to be at?
The last race of the regular season?
The regular season is Daytona International Speedway.
Daytona.
Yes,
yeah,
buddy.
Daytona.
And we all know the fun that can be had at Daytona. And right now, with 5 races left to go to that end of that cutoff, Nelson Rivera is sitting back there in 20th with a 1-point lead over Justin Mons, who's outside looking in. Behind those two guys, you've got E.J. O'Rourke and Bobby Wetzel tied with 324 points apiece. They're just 21 points behind Nelson Rivera. So really, mathematically speaking, you've got about 10 guys back there. You've got Mons, O'Rourke, Wetzel, Glenn Campbell, Doug Roth, Scott Stenzel, Eric Arnold, Woods, Charles Woods, and Randy Yoakum. All of these guys are mathematically still possible to get into the top 20 if they gain a certain amount of points for the next 5 races. So it's really a good fight back there.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting and fun to watch, of course. If you're one of those guys that are currently, as we mentioned, or as John just did, in the top 10, I think you've got a pretty good safe barrier there. But if you're outside that bottom barrel of 15th on back to 20th, these races are where it's going to count the most, obviously. Before you make it around the 20 and you make a run to the playoffs, you've got to first get in the playoffs. And to do that is you've got to have some successful last 5 races. And they're going to be at some fun tracks as well, John, as qualifying is about to go here in just a few minutes. And that includes tracks like tonight at Pocono, obviously, Indianapolis next week. Then we're off for a week. Then we go to Michigan, Watkins Glen, Daytona, all on the way here for the next 6 weeks with 1 week off on August 8th.
Those last 2 races, Wesley, are going to be key races, a road course and, of course, a plate track.
Well, let's take a look at qualifying now, as we're going to see what some of these drivers are going to be able to do here. We have got quite a plethora of cars, 30-plus entries ready to go, and we're going to see what some of these men can do on the course now. Sean Derryman, Joey Jatina, Eric Arnold, just some of the cars that are now on course. Here comes Glenn Campbell in the Trans Service Entry Chevrolet. And obviously, John, do they get dead in 2? Do they get a warm-up lap in 2 laps, or are they on the clock as soon as they come to the line here?
No, it's just like normal qualifying. You get an out lap to get everything warmed up and get the car up to speed. But what you want to do, though, is just be careful on those tires and help give yourself just a little bit more of an edge as you come around. Because you can actually go way under speed all the way down to the tunnel turn and then just go ahead and full throttle to start your actual first lap. Now, the first lap has been the money lap these last few qualified sessions I've seen up front. And so if you make a mistake, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye on that now as we watch Glenn Campbell working his way around the racetrack right now. We'll see what he can do, what kind of laps he'll put on the board here. As here comes the 44 coming across the start-finish line. This was his dead lap, and now he is officially on the clock, as it is the driver of the number 44. This is, of course, Glenn Campbell. Remember, he won the Blizzard Series finale. But since then, it's been kind of a quiet year for the driver of the number 44. Right now, as you mentioned, Glenn Campbell not in the realm of the top 20 of the point standings. He's currently 24th, but anything can happen if he can turn some things around here. One of those guys that could, out of nowhere, John, try to win a race could be Glenn Campbell.
Yes, indeed. Great entry and exit onto the tunnel turn right there. That's one of the trickiest turns on the track right there. Very easy to get out of shape coming off that turn. Now down through really flat, long, sweeping turn 3. He's going to ride the middle right there. He wants to get back in the throttle right about here and let this thing feed out to the wall, but not too far. Great exit right there. It's going to be a good lap for him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting lap as Glenn Campbell will set the bar here to the 54.371. Are you kidding me? Look at that. He went to the pole, John.
Yes, he did. And he's going to go ahead and try for a turn 2. Uh-oh, faulty hams on. Rivera put a 54.1 down. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe it. Nelson Rivera, 54.18. Campbell, 54.35.
Oh, into the wall.
Shattered the point. Falkenham just crashed.
He's in the wall on his first lap, but he can reset. But that's going to make things difficult for him. Now we've got Donnie Leah up here.
I see him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'll tell you what, Rivera with that 54.1, that's what he needs to do as the guy back there in 20th in points to help solidify what he's trying to accomplish there, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Donnie Leah, a former NASCAR Camping World Truck Series competitor, a former NASCAR Will and Modified Tour champion. In the number 29 entry, Haviland colors of Donnie Leah. Where is he'll end up on the board? Survey says
first lap.
First lap. Here he goes. He's at speed now. My apologies. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Glenn Campbell's second lap was a 54.1.
He is right there with Nelson Rivera. And by the way, Jimmy Coleman just went to the top of the board. 54.
Yes, he did. Wow, and I'm watching Eric Arnold had a bad lap right there, so I think he's going to be stuck with what he's got.
Look at this top 20, and look at the gap separating the top 20 in qualifying right now. Merely, what is that, half a second? If
Man.
That, 15 cars by half a second.
Oh, wow. My goodness.
You don't think this is going to be a good race tonight at Pocono?
Oh, it's going to be a great race. And these guys always put on a great show no matter where we go, but Pocono is such an amazing track to race at. I'm really looking forward to watching these guys in this next-gen car. Man, it's going to be awesome.
Working their way across the start finish line. Donnie Leah now coming to the line. 40 seconds, by the way, in qualifying. Donnie Leah 21st. And that's a quarter.
Oh, in the wall right there. Yep, that's
yeah, he hit that wall there. That hurt him. I think he's going to give it up here. Kevin England.
Yeah.
One of our former broadcasters on the team for SIM500, then went back into the cockpit driving the Buffalo Wild Wings, number 127 entry. Chevrolet, here he comes.
And we should probably clarify why that was bad for Donnie to hit that wall. Basically, that erases your lap. When you have a contact like that, it disqualifies you. So that's unfortunate. Now, newsflash, Daniel Falkingham with a 54.018 on the pole.
That's awesome. Falkingham has now climbed to the top spot, 54.02, mind you. Everyone else is 52.06. Trey Edson put down a pretty good lap as well. Yeah, there you go.
Wow. And what did I tell you,
John? Qualifying, man.
What did I tell you, man? These guys came out and blasted the fastest laps I saw all week long. I mean, really, the fastest lap I saw all week in the official racing was 54.211, and here these guys come out and put down 54 flats. That's amazing.
John, our producer, Charles, is so excited after qualifying. He was ready to cue up the starting grid music during the warm-up session. So, yeah, you know, and listen, Pocono is just one of those tracks. You saw yesterday in the Cup race for the M&M's 400 at Pocono how exciting that race was. I mean, I thought it was probably one of the, why are you laughing for? Why are you laughing?
Because Denny Hamlin got disqualified.
Qualified. They both got disqualified. And by the way, they're not going to try to protest it either. They're going to.
There's nothing they can
take
protest.
it with a grain
Come on,
of
man.
salt.
When you break the rules, that's what happens. I'm just saying.
Hey, but here's the thing, though. What is their penalty going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday when NASCAR throws the gauntlet down?
I don't even want to be a JGR employee when that comes down. Man.
Oh, I know Joe Gibbs released a statement this afternoon, and he said, my team will suffer whatever consequences there are, and we are not going to appeal this. So.
Well, here's something to keep in mind.
You could have appealed it. You'd have looked like an idiot, but you could have appealed it.
Here's something to keep in mind before we go into our lineup. Joe Gibbs is the kind of man, he's like Dale Earnhardt Sr. Dale Earnhardt Sr. had a thing at DEI. If I catch you cheating, I will fire you, period.
Yeah.
And Joe Gibbs has that same mentality, so I'm wondering if we're going to see some jobs lost over this.
That might be a great idea there. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're time to go here at Pocono. One thing you ain't got to worry about, the cars being illegal. Daniel Falkingham is on the pole. Hit the 39 to the outside. Trey Edson at the number 7. Row number 2, Brian Backlund, the driver of the number 30. Jimmy Coleman of the 54. Row 3 here at Pocono. E.J. O'Rourke of the 41. Glenn Campbell, he'll start in the number 6 position. Good qualifying run. Row 4, Nelson Rivera, the 22. Jose Gonzalez. Macho Taco in the 26. And around out the top 10, Kevin Brown and Tyler Dalton, 93 and 19, ready to go.
Inside row 6, got Eric Arnold in the 31 of Voodoo Racing. David Kostock is outside in that Monster Energy number 13. Inside row 7, Justin Mons, the 49 car, his outside. Scott Simley, the 12 car. Inside row 8, it's going to be Mike Montez. I don't know where Falkingham was going just now, but his outside. You got Doug Roth in the 43 car. Inside row 9, Charles Woods in the 40 car. His outside, Mike Kelly in that number 2 car. Inside row 10, right out your top 20, Brian Workman in the 74. And his outside, Sean Dierman in the 09. And somebody tell Falkingham he can't have an ice cream cone yet.
I'm about to say, is he going to get kicked from the server for trying to pass the base car? I'm in stitches. Kevin England, row 11, the 127. Jeff Ryan, the 3. Row number 12 will find Bobby Wetzel in the 9. Joshua Gathright, new driver's name in the 89. Welcome to SIM500 competition. Stoney Benfield with the 75. Donnie Leah starts 26. Row 14 on the grid. John Fowler in the 48. Byron Daly, haven't seen him in a few weeks. Good to see him back in the 06 into your top 30. It is going to be Richard Beasley in the 10 Atlanta winner. Josh Parker, the 81 Daytona Cup winner. Row 15, row 16, Joey Jatina, Ron Holyfield, row 16, row 17, Ed Burrell, and Gerald Livingston. 34 drivers ready to go here at the Tricky Triangle. By the way, Ron Holyfield did not connect to the server, so I don't think he'll be able to make the race, or he'll start from the pit lane. And is this necessary? Can he get disqualified quickly? Won't they penalize him?
No, he can't get disqualified, but he's having fun, and who blames him? I mean, these pace laps are so long, and the pace car, you get actually right up in there with him. But
come on, let's go.
Get ready for it, because, hey, this green flag drops really fast right here.
It surely does. I mean, they literally pop right up on that Geico restart zone. They did. They just made contact with one another,
Whoops.
and they ain't even come to the green flag yet. Here we go. Falkingham is now playing possum away from everybody else. He's be the first man to hit speed. Ladies and gentlemen, green flag in the air. Round 18, SIM500 Pocono underway. iRacing on LSRTV. 3, 2, 1. Hot dog in the middle is Falkingham. They'll stick it 3 wide, 2 rows deep into turn number 1.
A little early for that, but why not? 3 wide. Falkingham, the sandwich in the middle. Contact was Macklin. They're going to save it. That's going to cost Macklin some speed and momentum right there. He's going to fall back into the clutches of pretty much everybody in the top 10. Meantime, back up front, Coleman's looking to make it inside of Falkingham to take that spot away.
Ladies and gentlemen, they'll send it off to that tunnel turn in turn number 2. Look at them fighting traffic inside and outside all over the speedway to Brown. There's Arnold in the middle. Macklin there on the inside. Here comes now in front of him, Rivera. And all the while, they work their way off of turn number 3. What turn 4? John Mushton, 1 lap in. Trey Edson leads in the 7 to turn 1.
Non-existent turn 4. Edson leading the way up front again. Edson's been strong many weeks in a row here, but he's just got to put that finish together. He's had a hard time doing that. Bad luck in the pits, bad luck on the track. We'll see what he can do tonight. He's still got 78 laps to go. In the meantime, look at this fight right here between Macklin on the inside, Eric Arnold on the 31 on the outside. Right behind them, Trey Dalton going down the long pond stretch down to the tunnel turn.
Awesome racing. They're all in a pack except for 33rd and 34th position. Way in the back of the racetrack is all the while. Look at these guys nestled right there with one another. A little Incan blinking nod there for Macklin's car. It's Rivera and Arnold battle. Dalton down on the inside. All of this goes on as they work out of turn at number 4. They come back to start finish up the racetrack, up the hill. Little Incan bling. Well, there you go. Arnold to Brown. And who is that man? Gonzalez right back up there in the top 10, John. They go back to turn 1.
And as you see right now, they're single file, folks, but that's not going to last long with these guys. As we saw on lap 1, they ain't here to play around. They're going to try and get every spot they can, every lap they can get it. And I'll tell you what, that's what makes these guys so exciting to watch. Do not close your eyes, you're going to miss something.
They put on such a great show. It's such an honor to see these cars in the races they put on this year. They put on some phenomenal racing. And it's hard to believe, John, we're literally moving into like 5 rounds to the playoffs. And then we decide a champion. And it's just like, holy cow, where did the season go? As we're on board now with Macklin's car. No, Glenn Campbell. Glenn Campbell, Macklin, both sponsored by Transervice, by the way. Down to the inside, making a run on E.J. O'Rourke. You know, John O'Rourke wants to try to have some good stability here tonight after having some bad luck last week. You're on board with him now, threading the needle above to Coleman's car. He's in P2. Falkingham up on the outside. They're going to turn 1.
That is such a bad place to get a bump for the guy that's getting bumped because it pushes you in that corner so hard. And this is a great shot because we're seeing right here, he's in 4th gear. Shifts down to the 4th at the end of the turn. He's going to go all the way down the long pond right here. He's going to draft up on the 39 of Falkingham, try to make a pass maybe. I don't know. Here we go. Yeah, down to the tunnel turn. And then as he comes out of the tunnel turn, he's going to go back up to 5th gear. Somewhere right about here. Or actually, he might just keep it in 4th all the way down to turn 3 right here. Yeah. And what that does, folks, is that helps that, that helps that car turn, having it in 4th gear like that.
I'll tell you what, look at that con. It looked like he just got a little bit off the pace. Boy, Rourke's car just seemed like it was just kind of like bobbing or, you know, just kind of
a little loose.
A little loose there. Look at him turning up the racetrack, inside and outside. It's like he's trying to bob and weave behind Falkingham. Look at this now. There's this Mons on the inside, the 49 car, the new Gamer 49 car. Off of that is the 6th of Montesi. This is 14th and 15th. Listen to this. Oh, I love it, John.
That's a great shot, isn't it? That's
Makes
an
the cameras
absolutely great
rattle.
shot.
Reminds me of the old TBS TNT races back in the day. Remember the, they just don't do them anymore.
Did Jatina not start the race?
Maybe possibly. I know there was a couple of cars. I know we were told Holyfield.
Oh, he's on track.
Holyfield?
He's just
Yeah,
back there in
Holyfield.
the back. He's
Yeah.
at 28th right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably just going to take it easy, man, and because Joey, he's had a rough couple of weeks himself. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Drafting. All the way down to the turn right there. That is such a long front stretch there, Wesley. I mean, it's one of the longest in racing.
Oh, yeah. And so much happens there as well. You think of turn number 1 and 2, or turn number 1, that mimics the old Trenton, New Jersey racetrack, Trenton Raceway. Then you have the back straightaway that is a mimic off the total turn of Indianapolis, off the short chute. Then you go to turn number 3, and what turn 4, that mimics Milwaukee Mile. So look at this, fastest lap of the race, we were just told.
54.26. Wow.
Yeah,
almost
54.26 by Eric Arnold. By one of your cars, John. One of your cars, Voodoo Graphics.
Well, the Voodoo Racing team up there representing.
Every time I hear Voodoo, I think of that song by, can't even think of it now. No, it's Stone Temple Pilots, I think. Voodoo. Is it Godsmack?
No, that's Godsmack, yeah.
That's Godsmack. I said Godsmack. I did. At the end, I said Godsmack. We have the Voodoo. Edson is the leader, by the way, guys. Campbell in second. I'm going crazy talking about producer. That's what you don't hear in the background. Falkenham is in 4th and 5th. So, what did you say, John?
I'm sorry. It's E.J. O'Rourke up there in second, not Campbell.
Oh yeah, O'Rourke. Did I say Campbell? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We know that you get that man crush going for Glenn. It's okay.
I'm thinking tacos tomorrow, and if Gonzalez does well, he's gonna buy everybody tacos.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll agree to that.
Does his front of his hood say Macho Taco finally?
I can't see it. To be honest with you, the graphics
it looks like it says something about a taco. It looks like it says something about a taco. It does!
It says Macho Taco? That just made Wesley's day right there, folks. He's checking out. He's done.
Oh, it's awesome. Heck yeah, Jose Gonzalez on his stick. Dude, Macho Taco right there, man. And look at him. He's right now in the 7th position on the racetrack.
And battle for second on track between O'Rourke and Coleman. Coleman down there on the low side here, going through 3. Going to try and drag race O'Rourke down the front stretch, but he's going to need a drafting partner to pull this off. As you see, Falkenham right down the back bumper, Wesley, of that 41 car.
Well, I tell you what, watch that battle there as walking him into turn number 1 up the racetrack, Edson's car. O'Rourke behind him. You saw how loose he was fighting that car about 3 laps ago. It looks like it's really kind of balanced out now. Falkenham right behind him, though. Down that straightaway.
Something we haven't touched on yet, Wesley. Fuel run, fuel mileage. These guys are going to look at about 34 laps of fuel. Now, I did notice that throughout a fuel run, they lose over 2 seconds after 20 laps. So you're going to be giving up a lot of speed if somebody decides to short pit later on in this race, because you're looking at, what, 2 pit stops, I think? Maybe 2? Yeah.
I'm thinking probably 2 stops. I think you're exactly right. Maybe if they can stretch it to halfway to about lap number 40 or 45, they can be able to go the next 100 miles.
Oh, no, there's no stretching in it, Pocono. 35 laps of fuel is 35 laps of fuel.
Yeah, it's true.
You might squeak out 36 and a half, but I saw so many guys run out of fuel today. Look at this. Falkenham enters a challenge down the inside now. He's going to take over second, I believe. Yeah, that moves him up to second. And that's going to put O'Rourke back to third. He falls into the clutches of Coleman back there.
Edson is the leader. Falkenham is second. Coleman, O'Rourke, Campbell, top 5. There's Falkenham in that number 2 position. as they work their way past the start-finish line. 9 laps in, now make it 10 of 80. John Muschett, I'm Wesley Outland. O'Rourke is getting some little contact. Boy, oh boy, that could have been bad for O'Rourke and DeBrown. They all backed up. They played nice, and that's why they safely go into turn number 1, John.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with EJ's car. He keeps wiggling that thing like he's got some input issues or something. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll be able to get in touch with him later on and find out. But in the meantime, that bottlenecked a lot of people. And now we got cars trying to make passes going down the long pond, heading to tunnel turn number 2 here. We'll see how that works out for him. That's Macho Taco down the inside of Kevin DeBrown. Try to take that spot away from DeBrown. Right now he's in the... Is that DeBrown taking a spot away? It's hard to tell. They're so bobbled up right here.
Yeah, it's true. You're exactly right. We're
watching. Oh, 3 wide's not going to work.
Oh, my mind. They thought about going 4 wide. Gonzalez, get away from the run. Hurry, scamper. Olay.
Olay.
To the inside. That's the snake's patch, Charles, if you will.
And look, here goes Eric Arnold going to make it 3 wide, going down into 1.
Says, if I stay to the bottom here, I think I'm clear all of this. Oh, Rivera.
Oh, Rivera.
Arnold. Close contact. No social distancing here.
Yeah. No mask. No social distancing. We don't care.
Oh.
Look at that. He's not giving up. He's going to take it down through the tunnel turn here. Still on the inside of the 22 is Eric Arnold in that 31 car. Rivera on the outside. Just trying to hang on to that spot. And look at this. Comstock in the 13 behind him. You got Macklin on the outside there. Tyler Dalton back there. And all this is taken back in the top 10, basically from 8th all the way back to 12th.
Yeah, I can't believe this, guys. He's not done yet. Comstock down to the inside. On the outside comes Macklin. Here comes now Arnold on the bottom. Rivera and DeBrown in front of him.
And he's going to get shuffled back a little bit here because he's outside the draft going down this long front stretch.
Look at that.
Oh, slams up in front of Comstock. Comstock says, no, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
I ain't having that.
Flip-flop the numbers. He's Dick Slexon, 31-13.
In the meantime, can you believe Edson is still up front with Faulkingham a little bit behind me there. About 2/10, not too bad. It's been a kind of a relatively calm race so far. We have seen some guys making moves here and there, just testing the waters out for later on in this race, I'm sure. But, wow, you saw that car. Who was that back there? Mike Kelly swung out really wide there on the tunnel turn. Thought he was going to hit the wall, but he kept it off the wall. It's a little close there, though. And that Menards Mustang he's got there. That's a good looking car. I like that car.
Hey, look at Dalton now. I love. You know what PPG is, right, John? For Kelly, you know what PPG is, right?
It's paint.
It's paint. Exactly. PPG paint.
Yeah.
And PPG, believe it or not, back a long time ago, John and I are unveiling how old we are. They used to be really big with IndyCar and
IndyCar, Formula 1, yeah.
Yes.
I'm watching Rivera, and he's I wouldn't say he's letting people push him around on track, but he's not as aggressive as we've seen him in the past. I'm wondering if he's got that top 20 spot in the back of his mind. You know, telling himself, I got to be careful here. I don't want to screw up and give up too many spots here. And look at this, though. DeBrown just a little below that apron, making a move on O'Rourke here, coming off of number 3, going down this long stretch. And he's got a drafting partner in the 22 of Rivera. He might make this work, Wesley, as we go all the way down here into turn 1.
Down to turn 1. Look at him in that gaggle of traffic. Brown on the inside. O'Rourke. Rivera right there. Somebody going to try to go 2x2. Arnold will thread the middle. Macklin's up high. That's actually Campbell. Campbell's got a pretty good run for him tonight. You're on board now with David Comstock.
Yeah, Campbell's up there in 4th. And something happened to Macklin. Or did it? No, the timing's just... Yeah, I think he's bleaking on and off the track because he went from 10th to pits to 10th again. And then one thing I just noticed there, Macklin didn't shift down at all going to 3rd this time.
And that's Tyler Dalton. Tyler Dalton. Understanding Macklin's got a problem. Macklin falling back. He's battling now with Dalton. Macklin, Mons. Macklin dropping all the way back wide. He's pitting lap 15.
Yeah, he's got connection.
That's kind of unusual to pit that early. Is that unscheduled?
No, it's not scheduled. He's not connected.
He's out of the race? Oh, wow. Oh. Well, I just want to, yeah, that's enough right there. So, I'm not going to say. So, understanding first retiree out of the race is Macklin. Hey, everybody that's tuning in.
And that's going to hurt Mac because he's back there at 15th in points. So
yes, it is. Yes, sir. You're exactly right. And John, he's one of the drivers I mentioned, if you remember.
Yeah. And he has dropped out. He can get back in, and he'll be a couple laps down depending on how fast he gets back in. Yeah. The bad news is we know that these SIM500 guys don't have a whole lot of caution in these kind of races. So it's, you know, all he can really hope for is that somebody else drops out, you know, that he gains a few points that way. But, hey, we'll see how it unfolds for him. In the meantime, still up front, Edson by about 0.3 of a second over Falkingham. You got Coleman in fourth. Coleman in third, Glenn Campbell fourth, Jose the Macho Taco Gonzalez in fifth, Kevin DeBrown sixth, Nelson Rivera seventh, David Comstock eighth, Eric Arnold ninth, and rounding out that top 10, Tyler Dalton.
That's exactly right. 11th is going to be Mons, O'Rourke, Daly, Kelly, Montesi, top 15. Rothwood, Simley, Gathright, Jatina, and that's your top 20. And speaking of Arnold and Comstock and Rivera, right there in a battle with DeBrown. DeBrown up on the outside lane hanging. They'll sit it right back. Here he says, I help you. I help you. I'll be your friend.
That's what it takes to make passes down that front stretch, is to have some friends. And I'll tell you what, Rivera had two of them, and you saw how fast he made, you know, quick work there for DeBrown.
Right. It's that fast. It's like, excuse me. Okay, I help you. No, I don't. I changed my mind.
I mean, just like that, he lost a couple of spots there and dropped all the way back to, what is it, 9th now.
Yeah.
This has been, I wouldn't say this has been a tame race so far, but it's definitely been, you know, tame. Yeah, I guess.
You said
say that.
Yeah, it has been tame. That's right. Northwest Racing Series had one caution. No cautions, I think, for the... Well, John, what do we have? One caution, I think, for the Cup race?
I think it was just one caution.
Series had one caution. Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
I mean, Pocono's a big track, man, and it's not that hard to drive. It's just, you know, you just got to watch those corners and make sure you don't enter the corner thinking, oh, I'm going into one, but you're actually going into three or something like that, you know? They call those brain fades. I'll tell you what, though, Falkingham has pulled into Edson. He's just a little under 2 seconds. Sorry, 2/10. A little over 1/10, I should say. You know what I'm trying to say here, right?
I got you, brother.
He caught him. That's what I'm trying to say. Him and Campbell have caught Edson. They look like they're about to team up to make a drafting pass on him.
Yeah. All good, looking strong. All that happening right now here on lap number 20 when they come from the start-finish line this time by. They work around the tunnel turn in turn 2. Look at this. This Edson, the leader, Falkingham, Campbell. And all this now going on to the second turn off the tunnel turn. No turn for it, Pocono. Tricky triangle. And John, we've said before, and I've said it with other people like yourself and John and Justin Prince, who I work with tonight for the Northwest. And I always say, you know, this track, you could call it a super speedway because it's 2.5 miles. It's the same size as Daytona or Talladega, a little bit smaller, but it's 2.5 miles. And then you can say it's a road course because basically you're making some really, really crazy turns around this place to figure out.
Yeah, they're all left, but they're so different. There's three very different turns on this track. And we see it in the past that guys that are good on road courses are pretty good here and vice versa. And I mean, I've seen Transon do some road course work. He's good. Look at this. Falkingham trying all he can right now to find a way to gain ground on Troy Edson. And he does. I mean, he's up to the bumper there. So we could see a race for the lead here in the next half a lap or so.
And we'll certainly keep an eye on that again. Round number 18 tonight for the NC 811. Call before you dig. Cup Series, SIM500. Brian Morehouse, of course, and everybody there with NC811. We appreciate them. Don't forget the No Excuses Sim Series is coming in 2023. John, I'll tell you, I'm really excited about that. It's going to be really, really fun. A lot of cool different series that you could be a part of.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too, because we've been seeing Cody's behind the scenes work on it. He's putting a lot of work into that, and it looks like it's going to be a fun series to either watch, be a part of, or do the broadcast for.
Coming in 2023 includes the No Excuses Sim Series, Kaufman Creative Super Late Model Series, the Majors Garage Dirt Super Late Model Series, and
I can't tell if he's joking or not.
the No Excuses North Carolina 1 Big Block Modifieds. And why would you? I like the series. Why would you do that? I like the supers. I like big blocks, and I love them. Wow. Coming in 2023, iRacing on LSRTV, the premier place to race for big events. No excuses. The guy literally told me that in my ear, and I made a promo out of it. People,
I know.
you got
Yes,
it
you
one time in
did.
stereo,
Yes, you
Joey.
did. Nice.
Yes. Oh, wow. They're saying we're going to run full-length events, ladies and gentlemen, like the All-American 400, the Thanksgiving Classic, the Valley Star 300.
I'm going to need a new office chair. If I'm going to sit that long.
Listen, if we do a real Myrtle Beach 400, we need to do the true old-time John Muschin Jr. Myrtle Beach 400 when the All-Pro Series used to run 400 laps around Myrtle Beach Speedway.
I'm going to have to get me one of those standing desks so I can stand up.
Get your popcorn and tray tables in their upright position, even if you're not on the airplane. It's going to be fun. No excuses.
Oh, here we go. It looks like we've got a battle shaping up for the lead right there.
Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, the Major Series is going to be back in action now, but check that out. I believe it's going to be the Weed Sport Dura Big Block Modifieds at Weed Sport Speedway. That's right in my wheelhouse. I love the dirt. I love Weed Sport Speedway. I've been there in New York, and that's going to be really, really cool, John. The Major Series, back at it again.
Weed Sport's a tough little track, man.
I struggle with the Formula One cars. I ain't gonna lie to you, that was out of my wheelhouse. But if there's one thing I know, it is dirt, late models, modifieds, big block modifieds, sprint cars. Bring it on, baby. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know
Look at this. What if we haven't not done, John?
I'm sorry, I was watching the race on track. I got distracted. You know who we haven't seen up on this this Sim 500 racing lately is Byron Daly. Byron was having a really good race
tonight, but Byron's not been here for like what, the last 4 weeks or so. So I mentioned he's been back. He's just came back tonight. And let's give him some love. He's right there in the number. Well, that's the 54. So that's Coleman. Byron Daly is in the 8th position in the 06 machine.
Yeah, having himself a good
Coleman.
top 10 run. That's where I was going with that. We hadn't seen him in a while. There he is. And that Byron Daly.
You did the wrap job on his car, didn't you, John?
Yes, I did. It was kind of an inside joke. We had been calling him the Silver Bullet for a while because he just had a silver car. No sponsors on there. So we came up with the idea to make it the old Coors. Remember the Coors Light Silver Bullet that Sterling Marlin made so famous?
Yes.
So that's what we came up with for him, but just sponsored by him with his name in the Coors Light font. And I just thought it was a good idea. And he got a good laugh at it. So yeah, let's run with it. So that's what we did.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, I keep seeing Falkingham making a bid for the lead, but every time he pulls up to pass Edson, it's like he throws a parachute out, man.
Yeah, we're going to watch that now as we're 25 laps into this race. So far, clean and green, which, you know, we like that, right, John? We like that.
Absolutely,
makes things fly by.
And I mean, what I like about it is we're going to see who can handle old tires and who can't. We're on lap 25 now. And
Right.
you know, when we talk about timing and lap speeds, I mean, look at this. They started this race off in the 54s, right? Low 54s. That last time by, Edson was at a 56.44, 2 seconds already off his first lap. So we know the tire fall off is there. So we know these cars will start giving up performance, start giving up, stability on track. And that's when we're going to start seeing some moves taking place, as we just saw back there with Gonzalez, Arnold. Arnold's at the 5th spot now. Comstock, Rivera, all these guys fighting back here for spots.
And mind you, while we are about less than 15 laps to halfway and 100 miles into this event for 200 miles, 80 laps at Pocono, round 18 for the SIM500 and C811 call before you dig Cup Series. It is also rounding pit stop time as well. The question is, when do you come in? I'm thinking if you can go this distance, you're thinking 30, what did you say, 30, 35 laps, John? So within the next 7 laps to 2 laps, we're going to see green flag pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, the furthest I saw anybody squeak out a run was 35 laps. I didn't see anybody try to go further than that. There may be some guys here in SIM500 who are really good at conserving fuel and know how to, the places to maybe kill the cars that go through the turn and whatnot. They might get a couple laps more than that, but 35 is going to be the bullseye. So we'll keep our eye on that. Check chat there, Cody.
Check. I hear you, John. Check.
No, I meant D-Mix.
Well,
Oh, we got smoke. We got smoke. We got a caution now. It's Buckingham. What happened?
Buckingham, the points leader, has crashed. Caution out. First time at Pocono on lap number 27. Wow. My. What happened here?
Oh, my.
Did Campbell say I've had
down
enough?
The inside, going through the tunnel turn right here.
Did Campbell say I've had enough? Or did Falkenham just lose it? That's the question. Here we go. 44, left rear. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. John, you know what that reminded me of? Pocono, believe it or not. Pocono, early 2000s. Steve Park, Dale Earnhardt Jr., same crash when they went barrel rolling and flipping down to the bottom of that tunnel turn back straight away.
I'm wondering what that was all about. That's very uncharacteristic of Glenn Campbell.
Well, we're in a caution. We'll see pit stops. We'll take our first commercial break of the night as well, because we've been on the air for. We're going to take a break now. We're back from Pocono. Just a moment. iRacing LSRTV SIM500 Cup Series Monday night. It's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive. All right, we've got pit stops ongoing right now, and here comes the cavalry off pit road. And right now, Edson in first, out first, John. All that working good for him. Yeah, there's something, I think we lost our buddy here. We're going to try to reconnect with Johnny here. So, pit stops have just taken place. Kelly did not pit, I don't believe. Mike Kelly in the number 2. John, are you back with us, buddy? John Mustian in the house? Maybe not. Kelly is the driver lone wolf in the number 2 that did not pit. That's Mike Kelly. Trey Edson will stay behind them. All those other cars, they pitted. And we'll get ready to settle them up here for the restart in just a few moments. Understanding 4 tires and fuel for everybody that was on the pit lane a few moments ago. And I just can't believe that Mike Kelly has not pit. Did he pit before? That's the question. Lights off on the pace car. We're going to get the one to go indication. There you are. Where'd you go, John?
To Tinkle.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's showing that he pitted on lap 26 before everybody else did. So I don't know if he was on pit road when that happened or what.
31 of 80 laps, working 30 laps completed now. Lights off on the pace car. We will settle them up for the restart. So obviously, you can say here now, John, that everybody's on the same strategy that just pitted because that much the entire cavalry came in. Mike Kelly, in his own strategy now, he's kind of a sitting duck. I think he's going to have to come to pit road probably with about 20 to go.
No, you're not hearing me. He pitted on lap 26. Okay, I see what happened. He got spun down pit road. I just saw it on the replay.
Okay.
He was forced to pit, so he came down pit road at that time and got in a pit stop as the caution was coming out. Stayed on the lead lap and inherits the lead. What a lucky break for Mike Kelly.
So could we say that he's about 5 laps short than everybody else, or do you think he could probably
definitely
try to conserve? Could he try to conserve and try to, you know, run the same cycle they are, John?
I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. It depends on if we go green the rest of the way, too. Don't forget that. That's a big if right there, you know. And, by the way, Falkingham spent a lot of time on pit road.
Sure did.
He's still there, actually, 5 minutes in.
Ready. Green flag. Here we go. 31 laps on the board, and we're ready for the restart. Kelly inside, gets them on the jump. We're about 8 laps to halfway. 44 to the finish. 48 to the finish. My apologies. Here we go. Off turn number 1. Short shoot, going to the tunnel turn. Kelly out in front in a big way, John. He's making a big statement.
Yes, he is. He's like, see you later, boys. Now, keep in mind, he was coming off pit road when that caution came out. So he doesn't have any, you know, green flag run laps on those tires. So he's basically got the same, you know, newness on his tires that those guys do.
Kelly, Edson, Arnold, Gonzalez, Daly, Comstock. Here they come to the line out of turn number 4. Back to the stripe. Kelly pulling away. Closing in on 100 miles of this race here. John Mustian, I'm Leslie Outland here with you. We've got Charles Wooten in the Rocket Media Live Sim Racing, iRacing studios. Handling our production. Look at Gonzalez, man. John, what a run for Gonzalez. And not just tonight at Pocono. He has literally done really phenomenal the last couple of weeks being a contender.
He has, but he's also had some bad luck here and there. I think that the way that Jose's been running, he's had the potential to win at least 2 races this season, but was just caught up in other messes and stuff like that, or just an unlucky break or something like that. But I think that I'm saying before we see the break for the playoffs, he's probably going to pick up a win somewhere. I'm calling my shot.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up, right? Here we go.
I mean, he's got a pole this season. He's got 8 top 10 finishes, 5 top 5s. He's had a good season, just hasn't put that win together, you know? And I think it's coming. I really do.
Kelly, Edson, Arnold, Gonzalez, Comstock. There he is right there in fifth, single file. Everyone is as they work their way off to houses. Houses that people live in, John. Real houses are on the back straightaway there at turn 2 at Pocono. Could you imagine just climbing and sitting up on your roof watching the race?
Best seat in the house, pun intended.
Yeah. You ever been to Pocono?
I flew over it once. Does that count?
I got you. Flew over it. Well, if you ever flew over it, you know it's like out in the boonies where the mountains is. I mean,
yes,
it's like
sir, it
mountains,
is.
Mountains, road, Pocono. Bam.
Yep. And that's I've heard that the Poconos themselves are a great place for vacation,
scenery.
man. I've never been there,
Scenery.
but from from overhead, we flew overhead a couple times, and it was gorgeous out there.
Oh yeah. I've been to Pocono a couple of times, and it's just beautiful scenery. I mean, just literally, it's picturesque and nice, cool temperatures. It's not like hot. It's all down like it is down in the south. Yeah. Our producer says, "Don't tell me about nice." Here we go, Gonzalez peeking down to the inside, looking after Voodoo.
Oh, good cars off the wall.
Campbell in the wall. Campbell, wall, saves it. Everyone flies by. No caution. They go to turn 1.
Yeah, but I wonder if he's got some damage on that right front suspension that we don't see right just yet. We'll see as he goes down through the tunnel turn right here.
Wow.
That was pretty significant contact, too.
And after having that contact, John, to have the fortitude to keep the car off the wall, to keep it off of other cars, to keep it in the straight and narrow without collecting anybody else. Phenomenal by the number 44.
Absolutely. I mean, any other group of guys, that probably would have been a big caution because he had 4 or 5 guys right there behind him.
There you see Daly. Daly after Gonzalez. This is for 4th and 5th.
Yeah, right now you're
right there with him. Oh, Comstock into Daly. Oh, my goodness, John.
little bump in the turn. We'll just make sure he's awake. That's all. Hey, how you doing, buddy? You awake up there?
Is that song Jump Jive and Then You're Ready to Wail?
Oh, yeah. Stray Cats.
You didn't know I do that kind of music, did you, John?
Oh, yeah. I was sure of it. Positive.
Long time radio personality for about 12 years in radio.
Now watch Montesi here in the 6. He's going to get right up on that back bumper as well. And what they're trying to do there is they're trying to get that car loose as they enter the turn, get them out of the way. And who's that? Who's that 81 car? Is that the...
That's the 817. That's Josh Parker. Yeah.
He's got some weird paint job on there. Some
Doesn't it look like
overlapping numbers.
817 for a little bit? It looked like 817.
Yeah.
It says 781 on the other side and 817 on the other is what I was going to try to say. But it's car 81. It's car 81.
I think his trading paints has gone haywire on him there.
I'm telling you, it looks like 817 on one side and 781 on the other side.
Well, no, I can tell you what happened. He chose that paint. It had a custom number on it, and he put it as his stamp number paint job.
Doesn't he realize, John, that makes our life hard?
I don't think he really cares. I really don't think he cares. I've come to understand that some of these guys just don't care about us announcers. They don't care. Just trying to keep us on our toes.
Checkmate 22 Rivera says I concur. No, that is the Verizon car. And by the way, thank you to my Verizon hotspot that is allowing me to do this broadcast without any technical issues in the confines.
Gonzalez making a move on Daly here. Like
that's right.
Turn 1.
In the confines of my hotel room. So
Arnold up the second. Arnold out of shape though.
Oh wow, hold on to it, buddy.
What a save. Wow.
That's 2 or 3 times he saved that car tonight, John. Wow.
I think he had a little now he's got a wreck.
Rivera's car spinning down, collects Arnold, jinxed him. 3rd time a charm, not. Caution out, 2nd time, off of the short shoot in turn number 2. The tunnel turn they were entering. Caution out, 2nd time.
That might be terminal. Oh, the 31's rolling again, but let's see what's broke on the car because he had some pretty significant contact. Let's see what happened here. So he's making a move down here on the inside here to pass up the 2 car. Somewhere in here he gets out of shape. Right
he
there.
fell
He gets on
back,
that apron.
and
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. All the way
Great
back
save.
to the top 10.
Then
Look at
up
this.
here, Comstock is going to turn Rivera down into him.
My goodness, we didn't even see what happened to the other car. Who was the other car? Was that Comstock that kept going to 13?
Comstock.
Oh, he
And
got
then we got
more
another car spinning up there. Wow.
He saved it, though, John. He saved it.
Yeah, that was a great
Whoever
save
that
by
was,
whoever
he
that
saved
was.
it.
Not so much for Rivera and Eric Arnold. Arnold really just a victim right there. He had his car saved. He was back in the right direction, picking up speed, and then, you know, Comstock and Rivera had their issues there. It looks like that car is going to be okay. He's going to have to get in the pits there and take a look at it, I'm sure. They put some new rubber on there, but wow, that could have been so much worse.
Caution out for the second time. John, you're coming up on halfway. Do you pit, or do you stay right in sequence of where you're at right now with everybody else? What are you thinking, brother?
You're asking the guy that screws up a pit stop at the drop of a hat. If it's me, I'm going to wait and see what these guys in front of me do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait and see what the guys that are in front of me do, and probably do the exact same thing they do, because they're all better than me anyway. Let's see what Edson does here. Now, they've got 3 sets of tires, I think, correct?
But yeah, that's the question. How do they do it? That's I think they had 3 sets of tires, which is what, 3 sets plus the set that they started the race on.
If they
So actually,
pit
it's
here,
4.
they're still going to have to pit again. If they pit right here, they're still going to have to pit again. I mean, seriously. So it looks like everybody's coming in, though.
They're pitting.
Yeah, let's see what happens here with tires.
Wow, they're pitting. I can't believe that. I did not think that that was going to happen, but it is. They're pitting.
Well, Gonzalez stays out. Mike Montezi stays out. DeBrow stays out. Justin Mon stays out. The new guy, Joshua Gaithright, stays out. Doug Roth stayed out. Tyler Dalton stayed out. E.J. O'Rourke stayed out. Jimmy Coleman stayed out. And Jeff Ryan stayed out. Falkenham still on pit road, getting his car fixed.
And Falkenham, again, burst caution involving him in the race. We're halfway home, by the way. 100 miles down, 100 miles to go, 200 miles the distance at the tricky triangle at Pocono. Here comes the cavalry off pit road. I just love that camera angle, John. I do too. I do too, man. It's a great shot right there. You know, the one I love the most, the real life camera shot I love the most is when it's at the end of the front stretch, but it's looking back towards turn 3. And you can just see all the cars snaking around, coming down the front stretch, trying to break the draft off each other. About the
I love that
speed shot
shot.
camera?
Yes,
speed
man.
shot cam? Oh yeah, I love a speed shot camera.
It looks kind of like this one right here, but it's on the front stretch.
Yes. Just like that.
Great.
And then the camera that like just rocks. I love the cameras that rock. That's really cool.
Absolutely.
Takes me back to the 80s and 90s when I was a kid. For sure. Definitely. Yeah. Hey, don't forget, coming up tonight, simulcast coverage, iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. We've got the next round of the Northwest Racing Series Cup cars at New Hampshire. Okay, so we were at Pocono last week with the Northwest, John, with Cup and Truck. Now we flip-flop it, and we go from New Hampshire last week for the SIM500 to Pocono tonight, and we go to New Hampshire tonight and Thursday for the Northwest Series. Catch all that as you get tongue-tied thinking about what I said.
Gonna be doing a lot of laps, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, sir. Gonna be a fun time tonight for sure. Definitely. Hope you take the time to join us. I don't think any graphics have been created yet for the Northwest for New Hampshire, so yeah. Northwest Racing Series. John will be back with me for the trucks on Thursday, Friday, on tonight. Justin Prince always joining us here. So.
Well,
all right, lights off of the pace car. John, 1 to go. Macho Taco up in front. Looking to try to go to win here. Macho Taco looking good in the 26 car.
Well, what I was saying is we've got guys that duck back down pit road now and are topping off. And if they're careful with their fuel and this thing goes green the rest of the way, they're good to go. Even though it's going to be going back to green with 38 laps to go.
Cool.
They could actually play the fuel saving game here. If this thing goes green, they could come out on top with this. We'll see how this works out.
So,
Cody, did you see my question in the VMix chat?
Loudon. That's the graphic they created tonight. It's Loudon. Loudon, New Hampshire. New Hampshire tonight. Anyhow, we go live.
Okay, thank you.
All right, John, so what's your take of the first 100 miles, brother? Lights are off for the base car. We're ready to settle this thing in here. 38 to go, 37 to go when we take the green flag.
Some very interesting events on track is what I think. It's been very eventful, even though we've only had 2 cautions. Those 2 cautions were interesting. You know, some things that we weren't expecting to see out of folks like Glenn Campbell and Dave Comstock. Got an innocent bystander taken up in the form of Eric Arnold. So we'll see what this race holds for the next 38 laps.
Well, we're ready now for the second half. Here tonight, green flag goes in the air, and back to it again at Pocono.
Ah, this is such a long stretch right here.
It surely is. Wow.
There's your Macho Taco taking that lead going through 1 right there.
And demanding fashion, might I add there, John, as well, man. He just got up in front and just said, guys, I want to lead for a while.
So was that the hot taco sauce or the mild taco sauce, you think?
That was, you know,
the spicy taco sauce.
Spicy time of the moment race or something. Spicy moment of the race.
Well, look at this guy. Bump drafting here by the 40, from the 43 to 41 there. 41 was all up in the back bumper with Roth there. Roth having a great run tonight. We've seen Doug Roth really improving his racing over the last several weeks and definitely going from a mid-pack driver to up front. And right now he's in 5th, getting that bump draft from O'Rourke going the front stretch.
Here now, look at the Brown. The 43, Roth in that mix there as well. The Brown down to the inside. Here comes O'Rourke. Outside lane. Yep. It's still Gonzalez will hold on to that top spot.
But look right behind these guys. You've got Mods, you've got Roth, you've got O'Rourke. Oh, O'Rourke into the wall right there, coming off the tunnel turn. That's going to hurt that car just a wee bit. Not too bad, though, it looks like. Mods ducking down to the inside, going to try a move on Montesi here to take second spot away as we go through turn 3, heading for the front stretch. It's going to be a drag race down the front stretch for that second spot.
44 of 80 now completed. Here we go. Well, did I see a car drop? Wait, I didn't see that car go all the way down below the bottom of the apron. Yes, he did.
That was Parker. Yeah, that was Parker.
Wow, Josh Parker's car.
Mon still down there on the inside, trying to take second spot away. In the meantime, right there, Edson, you saw him. He's making a move on Roth, trying to take third spot away.
3 wide into that corner. Here goes Gonzalez. Gonzalez now down to the lead, and Mons is behind them. Mons, Montesi, 2 and 3. Edson, Roth, O'Rourke, all those cars getting antsy there. As now Edson battles back pole car number 7. O'Rourke will follow. Roth at 43. All of this working there as they come on a turn number 3. Oh, did Montesi just hit the wall? I think he just did.
A little bit, yeah. But didn't even get out of the gas.
What a save there.
Didn't even get out of the gas.
And look at how Mons just jumped right back up to the inside to the outside and stopped and threw the block on Edson and Montesi. O'Rourke there, a little impatient. Roth hung out the drive, and they're 3 wide almost out of turn number 1.
That's just not going to work if they get this sorted out or don't get this sorted out before the tunnel turn here. That's not a place where you want to take it 3 wide. It's been done, but it ain't fun for somebody. Down through the tunnel turn we go. 3 wide. Back there with Roth and gang and company. Meantime, up front, the 49 car, Justin Moss, the 7 car, Troy Eidson. Back here, second and third, ganging up on the 26 of Jose Macho Taco Gonzalez.
Man, I tell you, Gonzalez just definitely making himself known that he wants to be the guy tonight to win this race. And all the while, as we close in on those 30 laps to go, look at Mons throwing that block down to the inside. Gonzalez up the hill. Mons coming down low. Here comes Edson to follow. And we're going to try to go 3 wide. We are going to go 3 wide in the middle. Just for a second, and then they broke apart, John.
Now, keep in mind, Jose Gonzalez and Mons are two guys that stayed out. So they've got 11 lap older tires than Edson does, and it's starting to show up a little bit right here. Edson finally clears Mons.
Man, oh man, I'm telling you. Mons and Kelly side by side. O'Rourke now moves to third, clears them. Gonzalez, Edson, O'Rourke, 1, 2, and 3. Kelly, Mons, 4 and 5. All this going on.
Now we're in the window, right here in the window for the rest of the way. If anybody needs to pit, if they're thinking this might not go green, and they want to maybe short pit, this would be the time to do it. I don't think that's what we're going to see, though, to be honest with you.
Boy, oh boy, DeBrown in a nice little snake's patch of traffic behind him. Got Montesi in front. Wetzel starting to climb out of the top 10. The number 9. Little contact, though, with DeBrown. Did you see that with the upper right?
I did. I sure did.
Hold on there. Donnie Leah, John, up to 5th.
Kind of sneaking in there, Donnie Leah did, huh?
He certainly did.
And he's got some pretty fresh. He put on lap 40, so he's got some fresh tires there. See what he can do with that. In the meantime, Mods is falling backwards here. He's in the clutches of Josh Parker. Whoa! What's going on in front here? Wow.
O'Rourke and Kelly just playing mind games with one another, going up. And
Edson makes a move for the lead. 3 wide now for second.
all of this happening as they work their way back into the corner. Short shoot to 2. Back around. Here we go. Roth a little sideways. Loose is Parker. Mons back to the inside. Montesi will follow. Leah now hung outside to dry on the outside lane, and all this going on as they come back to start finish. 30 to go next time by at Pocono.
Lee's going to keep that spot, going to move down in front of Mons, trying to block his draft right there as they scooch back down the front straightaway here. Edson slightly over on Jose Gonzalez. O'Rourke in third. Mike Kelly in fourth right now. You see Parker. Is that Parker up there? Yeah, Parker trying to make a move around O'Rourke. O'Rourke slipping back now to fourth. In fifth, excuse me. Donnie Leah up to sixth. Or back to sixth. He was running fifth for a while there.
Edson, Gonzalez, Kelly, Parker, O'Rourke, top 5. Down that short shoot from that second turn, tunnel turn, now to the third turn. Sharp third turn mimics what is the Milwaukee Mile. And now what turn 4 becomes the long straightaway here. Back across the start finish. And can we be honest, John? There is more straightaway going back across start finish going to turn 1 than there is from turn 3 back to start finish. Basically, there's the flag stand that start finish is not identically in the middle of the start finish line of the straightaway.
It's not equidistant from 1 to 3, right?
Do I now?
It's not equidistant between turn 1 and 3.
Right, you'll reach the start-finish line and you have a longer straightaway going back to turn 1 than you go in the middle, in the middle of the straightaway.
And that gives the illusion when you're on track, it gives the illusion that that dang green flag comes out as soon as you come off of turn 3. That's what it feels like, man. It really does.
Yes. Thank you for playing. Mons crossed the line. He has got Wetzel in front of him along with Parker. Wetzel, O'Rourke, Leah, all this going on. Further back, look at Byron Daly. Good to see Byron Daly again. John, you did the wrap job on his car. Where's he been? Interrogation time.
Well, Byron works with a real NASCAR team, and
that's right.
So he I believe it was RCR, he said. I can't remember. I just know that he's a tire engineer, I believe, or an engineer on one of these teams. So he's gone a lot doing, R&D, doing testing, stuff like that. So he only gets to race here when he's actually home. So good to see him out on track right now. And actually having a really good run tonight for a guy who hasn't been in the sim for a while. He's up to 11th now. sets his sights on Kevin DeBrown up there in 10th, and having a great run is Byron Daly in that '06 car.
Don't forget, tonight we're at Loudon, New Hampshire. Lobster, John, lobster on the line.
Gonna park the car in the yard out there and go get some lobster and some chowder.
Yes, sir. Edson, Parker, Kelly, Gonzalez, and Leah, the top 5 right now. Loudon, New Hampshire, coming up tonight for the Northwest Racing Series, Cup and Truck Series this week.
Hey, let's talk about this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Next week, Indianapolis for us in SIM500. Go ahead, John. What are we going to talk about?
That's what I was going to talk about, was that Indianapolis race coming up.
Oh, well, I read your head.
Oh, yeah, man. I love Indianapolis, man. It's one of my favorites. Hey, let's talk about this new guy here, too. Gaithright, in the 89 car, making some moves out there, having a great first run with the SIM500 group. I'm not sure of his background at all. Never heard of him. Never met him before. Never talked to him. So if he keeps this up, right now he's in 13th. But if he keeps heading to the front like he is, maybe he'll get him a podium. His first time here, we'll get to question him about where he is.
Making his debut with the series for sure, and doing a phenomenal job at that. In that number 89 machine, Gathright, 13th spot. Gal Comstock right behind him, along with Roth, top 15. All right, John, are you thinking a pit stop here? Lap 65, 70 maybe?
Let's talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up, sir. Now, we've got some guys out on track. Let's see. We got Jose Gonzalez. We got Justin Mons, Montezi, Kevin DeBrown, Jimmy Coleman, Gathright. These guys all pit on lap 29. So they're coming up in their window here pretty soon. Now let's talk about the guys that put on that last caution, lap 40. That was 40 laps away from the start. If the fuel run goes the way it has all night, they're going to be 5 laps short of fuel. That's going to be a heartbreaker if they have to pit and give up all that track position with 5 laps to go.
Edson and Parker, Kelly, 1, 2, and 3. All of this going on as they work their way back off the short chute. Tunnel turn to 2 to 3 down. There you see turn 2. Houses, mobile homes, people standing around. That's too close.
Baby, I'm going to go mow the yard and watch the race.
That's right. And here's the thing. Remember, Pocono used to be twice a year. And then the pandemic hit, and then they made 2 races in 1 weekend. And now it's just 1 time a year. That's it. Yeah.
You know, I liked it when it was 2 a year. What I didn't like was when it was a 500-mile race. Remember that?
Yeah, but it's 500 miles, 250 laps. Yeah.
Yeah, and they cut it back to 400 miles. It seemed to be a much better race to me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories of Pocono, well, second favorite memory, was Dale Jr. sweeping Pocono the year that he swept Pocono.
Yeah.
My favorite memory, and even though I was never a big Jeremy Mayfield fan, was
the bump and run, hands down.
Don't get me wrong, my household was a Dale Sr. household for the longest time. But to see him get what he usually gives out, you know what I'm saying? And to take it like a man like he did, like he came up and congratulated Mayfield after the race, that was one of the best races to me.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard on the Dale Jr. download, but Dale Jr. And actually, I had him on my radio show, Finish Line, as well, Jeremy Mayfield, and he actually had told me the story. He was just like, you know, man, I think it's awesome amongst all that I dealt with NASCAR, the things that went downhill, that they actually still kind of highlight that it's still something that people still look at as a history moment, a historic moment.
Yeah, a positive moment for him.
And they give him that credibility. You know, you think if
we're
you
working the wall. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Or got into the wall a little bit there. But yeah, it gives him some credibility that he can maintain.
That's right.
It overshadows the BS that happened after that particular point, you know.
Yes.
I liked Mayfield. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't, he wasn't my driver, but he was a great guy to watch race, man. The dude could wheel a race car. He really could.
He was one of those guys that, if you want to be honest, that worked hard to get the opportunities to be able to run NASCAR, to run Cup, run ARCA, run Busch Series. He did that. Here comes now the 89 coming onto the pit lane. That is going to be Wainwright. Gathright coming in.
Yeah, he's
Does
the
that say
first.
Dubby? It does say Dubby. Yeah, Dubby.
It does say Dubby. What's a Dubby?
I believe it's the new. It's an energy drink supplement I think they've created for people in gaming.
Oh, okay. Well, he's
yeah.
a Twitch. He's a Twitch streamer. So that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think Dubby is some type of an energy drink that you drink, and it keeps you awake, and it's safe, and it's not like not like any of the other ones that might be harmful.
Gotcha,
I think that's what it is. So
I'm surprised he had to come in by himself. I would have thought that he might have had some guys come in with him.
there goes Mons inside of the racetrack. Wetzel up on the outside.
Oh,
Here comes the Brown now peeling off on to the pit lane. He'll give up a top 10 run, and I figured, John, we talked about this, 60, 65, 20 to go. They're coming to the pit lane now, and it's the money stop.
Yeah, these are the guys that pitted last on lap 29, so about 30 laps on these tires. And
right.
a little short on fuel. They're short pitting on fuel.
Oh, yeah.
They could have gone 5 more laps, but what they're doing here is they're getting themselves 4 fresh tires, and that's going to give them a speed advantage for the next few laps over the guys that are still out on track. They're going to have almost 2 seconds a lap for a little while here, so that's something else to keep your eye out on.
Money stop ongoing. This is the, if you will, what will come down to the finish.
Here comes Mike Kelly. Now, Mike Kelly's one of those guys that pitted about 20 laps ago on lap 40 on the last caution, but he knows he's going to be 5 laps short. Here comes Doug Roth. Here comes Eric Arnold.
That's right. And you say money stop for many of these cars right here, for sure.
And I love Doug's car, man. He's been such a diehard Petty fan forever. And every series I've seen him race in, it's been a Richard Petty car that he's run.
Pit stops ongoing here as there goes Edson, the leader. There's Donnie Leah. Gonzalez, that's 3rd and 4th place on the racetrack right now. Next week, Indianapolis. Should be another interesting racetrack. Obviously, another 2.5-mile speedway, but you'll hear West End and short chutes and tunnel, all that stuff. Different scenarios from this 2.5-mile tricky triangle at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just truly one of the America's greatest race course, as they always say.
Absolutely. Mons and Montesi are on pit road now. I think you're right. I think we're
the world's greatest race course, actually.
Absolutely. And then oh, wow, who's that way out of shape back there?
Oh, was that Simley? I think it might have been. All the while, look at this. This is Leah and Gonzalez.
We're under 20 to go, man.
We are.
And I mean, everybody has to pit one more time. We covered that a while back. Everybody is going to have to pit. It's just some of these guys have had to pit a lot sooner than others. And the ones that I'm watching are the guys that were in on the last caution that are going to be 5 laps short. When are they going to come in and top that fuel tank off? That's
true. That's true. As Edson is still the man out in front. Parker is 2nd. Donnie Leah 3rd, along with Jose Gonzalez. That's the battle you're watching for 3rd and 4th. And all the while, there is Joey Jatina. Jatina in the back now, John. Earlier when the race started, has climbed all the way into the top 10 in the 7th position with Comstock and Campbell.
Yeah, looking to make a move on Comstock here. Going to go down into the tunnel turn right here. He's going to drop back a little bit, let Comstock come to the turn ahead of him. Joey's being smart right here. He doesn't want to get caught up in anybody else's mess right now, so he's just going to let Comstock go. And I cannot help but wonder if maybe Joey's also, I mean, he's turning in some, comparable lap times to everybody around him, so maybe he hasn't really decided if he's going to try and stretch the fuel out here or not. I don't know. He could have, but maybe not. Because he was going to be about 3 laps short himself. And I don't know if you can make up 3 laps on Pocono, to be honest with you, as far as fuel strategy goes, you know. Bobby Wetzel way up high right there.
All the while, we are under 20 laps to go. Home stretch time here. More cars peeling off. Pit lane, seeing the strategy, seeing who can go to the end, all this happening. There's Byron Daly in the 06, the Silver Bullet car. He's in 5th. Comstock right behind him in the Monster Energy 13. And behind that 2 cars is, boy, Jatina, Campbell, Wetzel going at it hot and heavy for 7th, 8th, and 9th as they work out turn 3. And Wetzel just hit the wall in the 9 and 16 to go at the stripe.
Those are teammates, by the way. Jatina, Wetzel, Campbell, those guys are all teammates. And that's going to slow Wetzel down enough to give O'Rourke a run at him down here through turn 1. And he's probably going to complete that pass. Maybe not. Look at that. Wetzel back on the outside with a strong move. Oh, almost a little bit of contact right there.
And Wetzel, even though he bounced off that wall a few moments ago, somehow, John, kept on going. That momentum continues here as they cross the line at the start-finish line. And I think it's just going to get better and better and better as we hit the home stretch.
Yeah, and just real quick, I know we're 17 laps to go, but believe it or not, we started this race with, let's see, 34 cars, and we still have 32 on track. That's a great number. I mean, and these guys aren't playing around. I mean, they're out there pushing, shoving, bumping, grinding, taking spots, giving spots up. But that's just how good these guys are, that they're not completely wrecking out the field doing it.
15 to go this time out. They come to the start-finish line. It is Edson Parker, Leah Gonzalez, Comstock. There's Wetzel, who bounced off the wall in car 9 in position 9, right behind Campbell in front of him. Campbell, Jatina, all these drivers in the back earlier, climbing up to the front. And this is it. 15 to go when they come back around here. They're off the short chute in the tunnel turn of turn 2, working that straightaway to turn number 3. That mimics Milwaukee Mile. Remember, the turns are all separate, identical in their own way. Down the straightaway, you go to the turns into turn 1 at 15 to go now. And that start-finish line, back to turn 1, John, looks like Trenton, New Jersey. Then when they work on that long straightaway, they go to the second turn, the tunnel turn, that mimics Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where we're going to be virtually next in the sim next Monday night. And then that final straightaway to turn number 3, back to start-finish, mimics the turn of Milwaukee Mile. 3 awesome racetracks, by the way.
Absolutely. Real quick, just to touch base with you here. We've got Gonzalez on track. We've got Coleman, Tyler Dalton, and E.J. O'Rourke. Those 4 guys that I just mentioned are the last ones that have to pit sometime the next lap or 2. Last time they were on pit road was lap 29. They had 1 caution in there, which allowed them to save some fuel, of course. But still, they're already out there for 36 laps since the last time they pitted. They're going to have to start thinking about pit road, where they come in. And that's the last 4 of those guys. Then you have a whole bunch of guys that are going to run out about 5 laps to go. So this is going to get interesting.
Shootout time.
Speaking of, E.J. O'Rourke on pit road now.
Yes, shootout time. Here comes now O'Rourke, as you mentioned, the 41. Money stop, if you will. And all the while, this is ongoing here with 14, 12, 13 to go. John Mushton Jr. will carry you in the post-race. He'll handle all the post-race interviews because I am not in my regular studio location. Not going to be that way for the next couple of weeks. Matter of fact, John, next Monday night, I'll be coming to you from the mountains of North Wilkesboro Speedway after practice day. So I'll be, having practice all day, and then I'll go to the studio here and make do hotel room and join you at Indianapolis next Monday night. Yes, sir. Be fun.
So wait, let me get this right. You're going to be at North Wilkesboro Speedway next weekend?
It is hard to believe. I woke up this morning and I had somebody send me a message, and I was like, I can't believe that in 7 days from now, my voice is one of the announcers that is going to be bringing life back to North Wilkesboro Speedway. I'm so excited about it.
I hate you now. I hate you now.
So it is.
I don't want him here anymore.
I'm there for Racing America. Okay, so it's a collaboration, but I'm there for Racing America.
I don't even want to talk
and
to
the
you
series,
anymore.
and the series.
I don't
Yes,
want to talk to you anymore. That's
going to be awesome, man. Come on, John.
I hate you.
I don't have
Well,
to
no,
worry about
all
that
joking
certain
aside,
person
Wesley,
paying me,
I
okay?
am absolutely stoked for you, brother. I would give certain parts of my anatomy just to be able to go sit in the stands and watch that race. So, hey, I'll be praying for you to have a good show. Meantime, let's
Yes,
talk
12 to
about
go.
this race. Jose Gonzalez on pit road.
Hey, Gonzalez, giving up a good, solid top 10 run. And here's the thing, John, 12 to go. Do you think that these guys that are now pitting was maybe trying to play possum and hope for a late race caution flag, and then maybe their mindset is that just ain't going to happen now? And how about Edson? If he can pull this off, he wins from the pole in the 7 car.
He can't pull. I'm telling you right now, he's got to pit for fuel. And now, if he's going to take tires, and I don't know, because that's going to be another question. Some of these guys might just get a splash and go.
Splash and go. Oh, thank you. You read my mind. Splash and go.
So, I mean, there's so much strategy that's coming into play right now with 12 to go. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat here. I'm not even going to lie about it. I'm really not. Because we just watched Gonzalez come in. He topped off and took 4 tires. So, I mean, there's that strategy right there.
10 laps
Coleman,
remaining.
pit road.
And understanding Coleman has just come to the pit road as well. Man, oh man, this is awesome.
Let's see what he does here. Like I said, Gonzalez just came in. He took full 4 tires and fuel. That's a long way down pit road, too, when you only do 55 miles an hour,
Edson, Parker, Leah, Comstock, Jatina, top 5
he's
now.
taking 4 tires.
And Coleman is coming in. And, yeah, I'm thinking, John, I mean, I know you mentioned that idea of possibly doing the stop and go, but I'm thinking these guys also know they got to use their tires are used up too.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, no doubt. Don't get me wrong, but I just know that there are a lot of gamblers in this league. I've run with these guys a long time, and there's some guys out there that will bluff with a bad hand. I mean, there's just a lot of gamblers out there. So we're gonna watch this and see how it unfolds. Tyler Dalton on pit road now as well.
John, I know you mentioned 10 to go here at the finish, and we mentioned earlier Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch getting but did you just see what he's done in the last hour? He put out publicly on social media that he's actually popped the cork of champagne from Pocono, and he has the Pocono trophy, and he said he's going to sell it on eBay.
Oh, good for him, I guess. Tyler Dalton still on pit road.
Get it. I don't know.
Look at Joey making a move now for 4th place, going by Comstock here.
And
Joey's having a great run right here.
John, you just read my mind again, man. I was going to say that this is probably one of the best runs Joey Jatina's had all year on the series. Right now, a top 5.
Absolutely, on this series. Now, he's got a victory, if I'm not mistaken. He won last week on the Super Speedway series on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I don't follow all of them. I just do the Cup Series. But yeah, I mean, how many SIM500 leagues are there, John? I mean, you could run every day of the week.
There's one league, but they race every day of the week except Saturdays right now. Every day of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, look at that. Wow. Comstock, you could not have put a piece of paper between Comstock and the wall right there.
And my colleague in the broadcast booth, whenever John is not joining me calling the races, he races as well. He runs. He doesn't do well. No, wait a minute. You've won a couple of times, haven't you?
Not with these guys. Not with these guys.
Okay, I got you.
I've won some official races, open setup races.
I don't know what that means. You listen. If they tell me to get on a broadcast link and I call the race, and that's all I do. I don't know anything about servers and the leagues and the challenges and all that stuff. But yeah.
So iRacing Service has official races that race every couple hours, every day of the week. At the same tracks as we're watching these guys race on, okay?
But it doesn't mean anything, right?
No, it does mean you rank. it gives you ranking and points just like everything else.
I got you.
You're racing for season wins and championships and all that stuff. And out of those,
like a touring series. It's not like SIM500 or Northwest Racing Series,
yes,
right?
It is. Yes,
it is. Okay.
And, a lot of people take it pretty seriously. You get championships out of it. That's how you get up to the Pro Series, too, by the way.
Are you competitive? Do you like to win?
I love to win. Who doesn't? You wouldn't do this if you didn't like to win, man. Come on.
Ain't nothing wrong with Silver. Ask Cal Dot Jr.
8 to go. Okay. Can we mute him now, Cody? Can we go ahead and just kick him out the channel? Okay, good.
Oh my goodness.
So coming 7 to go now,
Yep.
and within the next 2 to 3 laps, we're going to see a bunch of drivers start heading down pit road because they're not going to have a choice. They were gambling. They were hoping that they all would come out, but it's not going to happen. I really don't think it's going to be a yellow, to be honest with you, Wesley. I think that this thing's going to go green all the way, and that's going to put a lot of guys behind the 8 ball when it comes to fuel.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right here. 7-6 to go. This time, Bob, they come to the line. Edson looking. So John, you're thinking there's no way possible Trey Edson can conserve fuel, do what he's doing. You're with Gina right now, Joey Gentina, and there's that personal comfort Chevrolet. You feel there's no way possible that Edson, Parker, or any of them can save.
I do, but as you and I both know, I am always wrong. Always. So,
okay.
But no, let's look at his time right now. He just turned a 57.1. Now that's probably the slowest lap we've seen all race. So I don't know if we can get his cockpit. Maybe we can see if he's turning the engine off as he goes through these turns. So I've seen Dave Comstock do that. Look at how slow he's going now. He's definitely trying to save gas now. Now, if it's going to work, I don't know. But the longest run I saw anybody do all week long at Pocono in the fixed series was 36 laps.
Wow.
And that dude ran out of gas on pit road. So I don't know. We'll find out.
When he went the whole distance, he literally himself out of fuel before.
Cody, are we losing you? Please not now.
Yeah, we got him 5 to go.
Okay, because timing just went out. There it goes. Okay.
5 laps to go when they come to the start finish line. Coming up, finish line, post-race wrap-up. Hey, listen to this. Jared Fryer, Preston Peltier, some others that'll be joining us on finish line. 1 hour show from Goldsboro on Wednesday. 1 hour show. 1 hour show of finish line because I have some other broadcast obligations. But we're going to get at least 4 awesome guests live on Wednesday. 1 p.m. Eastern. Hope you can join us. Right now, Edson is the leader. Time is running out, John, and he has got less than 5 to go as he works his way into the tunnel turn to turn number 2, and he's looking for 4 remaining here at Pocono.
Are these guys really going to make me look like a liar?
I think they're going to try to. They're going to try to, buddy.
He's staying off the gas for a long time, that's for sure.
And all the while, you see Edson just, and that's, John, is that what he's doing? Is you think he's cutting the engine off and letting it coast?
I
that's
don't
what
know.
It looks like from here.
I'd have to see the in-car of his dashboard to be able to tell you that. It looks like he's just through there at a snail's pace to me.
It certainly does. You're exactly right. But all the while, he has still kept that interval at least a second or more over Josh Park.
Hey, Cody, can we see if we can get an in-car shot on Trey Edson on his dashboard?
Yeah, we want to see if he's cutting his engine off and then refiring it. And John, for those that are watching, how can you give a description of that's what he's doing here?
You'll hear it, but you'll also see that number right there, that 8,400, drop down to probably, well, let's see if he puts the clutch in too. Let's just watch right here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely cutting it off right there.
That's exactly what he's doing. You see
Donnie Lee is on pit road.
The exit of the corner there.
Yep, Donnie Lee is on pit road now. I've done that. I've done that on a lot of races. It does work. You will stretch your mileage out. I just don't know how he's going to stretch it out that far. But Donnie Lee didn't want to take the chance of running out of gas. He's down on pit road. 3 to go.
I'm predicting, John, he might literally run out of fuel coming off of that second turn, final turn, turn 3.
We'll find out. I mean, it's going to be close, man.
Talk about strategy here. Oh, Leah pulling right up in front of traffic with Bolton. And Rivera, as we get to the end of this thing here with 3 to go.
Edson's pit road. Edson's on pit road.
Oh, Edson couldn't make it. Edson pits. Parker going to have to pit. Comstock going to have to pit. What are you thinking, John?
I'm thinking some of these guys are just, they're making their bed. They're going to have to lay in it now.
Oh, my My.
It's 2 to go. You don't. I mean, I just don't see how they're gonna. Nah, I don't know. We're gonna find out here in a minute, though. This is gonna
All
be
the
good.
while,
This is gonna be good.
Personal Comfort Chevrolet stop and go, splash and go,
Splash and go. Yep.
for the Chevrolet pole car of Parker. Now the leader, Josh Parker, Trey Edson back out on course. Let's pick up the leader, the 817 or the 871. You take your pick. The Toyota Camry. DraftKings Toyota. He has not been in the spotlight besides having a couple of podium finishes this year since getting the pole at Daytona. All the while, John, he comes to the line. He will see the CRN one to go. The white flag is in the air. One more lap to go. And Parker get it done. Comstock behind him. Final time in Pocono in turn 1.
Comstock's got 1 lap more fuel than Parker does. He pitted on lap 41. Parker on lap 50 down through tunnel turn right here. Sorry, turn 1, excuse me. Headed towards the tunnel turn, going down Long Pond straightaway. Where is Parker going to run out of gas at, Wesley? I have no clue, but this is getting
You think
tight.
he's going to run out? Do you really think that?
Come on, man. I mean, this is
Here we go.
40 laps on fuel. Ow! I don't understand it.
Tunnel turn into 2. Final time down that short chute. Going now to what mimics Indianapolis. Going to the short chute into turn 3. I'm listening to Charles in the background. Josh Parker finally coming off of what, turn 4? He's glad there's not a turn 4. Comstock, I think he ran out of
He's out of gas! He's out of gas!
He ran out of gas. Oh my, and Comstock's gonna win it.
Oh my God!
Are you kidding?
Joey Jettina with the podium finish.
David Comstock just won this race. His first win of the season. He was 8th in the point standings. Josh Parker ran out of fuel. Oh my, John, I jinxed him. I said somebody's going to run out of fuel off turn 3, and that's exactly what happened.
What are you talking about? He wasn't the only one. There were a lot of guys that just did not make it to the finish of this race. But up front was the one that counted, Josh Parker, with only 200 yards to go out of gas.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, man. And I think Comstock's out of gas now. He's not going to make it all the way around.
He can't make it across to celebrate, can he?
No, there's not going to be any celebrating for him.
So much for the burnouts.
But how about Joey Jettina coming home 3rd, man? This will be his best finish, I think, in this series in quite some time.
So listen, it's, what is it, Comstock's first win this year. We'll check all of his stats here in a minute. Is it his first career win, John? Because David,
No, I don't think it's his first career win, but it's his first win this season.
It's first win this season, okay, for Comstock. And, of course, Comstock is going to celebrate here. He's still got enough fuel to go another lap around this racetrack, John, and burn it down at Pocono. So he had probably a couple more laps left. You're exactly
he might have a little bit of fuel in there. He was saving it.
Wow.
He had yep, that's it.
A half a donut. Wow, he said a half a donut.
Yes, that is Joey's first top 5 right there.
The celebration is on for David Comstock here. And let's take a look at the unofficial results. Don't forget the Major Series again coming up in a few weeks. We've got that on dirt at Weed Sport. And, of course, again, thanks to NC811 Call Before You Dig for sponsoring the SIM500 Cup Series. Here is your unofficial results. David Comstock finishes in 2nd. Josh Parker, though running out of fuel, was still able to cross the line coasting to the bridesmaid spot. Nothing wrong with silver for Joey Jettina. And, of course, that's a good finish for him in 3rd tonight. Scott Simley, Glenn Campbell, your top 5. Mike Kelly, Kevin Brown, Stoney Benfield, good solid top 10 for him. Jose Gonzalez, an Atlanta winner. Richard Beasley, top 10 in the 10.
Coming home 11th, Joshua Gathright, the new guy. What a good start for him. A great start for him in this series. Bobby Wetzel, 12th. Gerald Livingston, 13th. Mike Montesi, 14th. Doug Roth, that petty car, 15th. Trey Eitzen led a lot of laps tonight, but just did not have the fuel to get to the end, 16th. Ed Burrell, 17th. Tyler Dalton, 18th. Byron Daly finishes 19th. Rounding out your top 20, Donnie Leah in that 29 car.
And the rest of the rundown, of course, from 21st, Jimmy Coleman, Nelson Rivera, Charles Woods, Eric Arnold, Ron Hollyfield, followed by Kevin England, Jeff Ryan, Brian Wortman, John Fowler, and then we go to a lap down cars in 30th. That includes Justin Mons, who was up in the front earlier, Sean Derryman, E.J. O'Rourke, Daniel Falkingham, a bad night for the 39, the winner of the series this year, and Brian Macklin had some high hopes of doing well, and all of a sudden that fell short about 15 laps in. 2 caution here tonight at Pocono. David Comstock, of course, is the winner. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me in Broadcast Central in Goldsboro, North Carolina. John Muschin is going to carry you the rest of the way for post-race interviews in the finish line post-race wrap-up. And then, of course, I'll be back with you next Monday, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. John, always fun working with you. This race did not disappoint. It was very exciting, and believe it or not, I think Indianapolis will turn out to be exactly the same way. 2.5-mile track, 2.5-mile Indianapolis. We can see the same scenario 2 weeks in a row. But congratulations to David Comstock winning.
Hey, great night. Always good working with you, Wesley, and I absolutely 1,000% agree with you. Next week, I think we're going to see more of the same as we did tonight. So please make sure, Wesley, even though you're going to be out there in North Wilkesboro having fun, rubbing elbows with some great drivers, make sure you show up Monday night, brother.
I will be here. I promise. I will be here if I have to be in the media center or high up in the press box somewhere. I promise you I'll be here. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Always enjoy working with you. And again, don't forget we simulcast coming up here in about less than an hour from now with the Northwest Racing Series Cups from New Hampshire with Justin Prince and myself. That's iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. We'll step away. Post-race interviews with John coming up, and we'll see you again at Indy next Monday night.
And welcome back, folks, to Pocono, the NC811 call before you dig Next Gen Cup Series for the SIM500, guys. And I tell you what a race. What a final lap. We saw some folks fighting the fuel demons. And one of those folks who fought and won was Comstock. Who fought and lost was Parker. We'll get to them in a minute. But first, I've got Joey Jettina here, our third place driver. Joey, brother, how you doing? Welcome to the podium, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands, John.
Well, quit touching me. That's all I ask. But anyway, man, I tell you what, Joey, up in the booth, we were just, our nails were being bitten down to the quick, man. We weren't sure how many of you guys could go all the way to the end. And once again, and I love you guys, but at the same time, I fucking hate you. I'm sorry, excuse my language.
Hello.
I hate you guys sometimes because I've been saying all day, and I've been seeing it all week in the races that I ran and the fixed series races, that nobody could push it past 36 laps. And that was the longest we could get it to go. And of course, the SIM500 guys come in here, and y'all pushed it well past 40 laps. Talk to me about how you did that, please.
Well, I mean, we shifted a little bit. You think that hurt us, but I mean, just I don't know. I mean, you got to have the green flag laps to do it. So I got to thank the entire league for what they brought tonight. We had a couple of cautions that were, probably avoidable, but hey, it's racing. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it was just a great race.
It really was. I mean, from upstairs, everything we saw tonight, there was a lot of aggression on track. Most of it was great. There were, like you said, 2 cautions that might have been able to be avoided, but the aggression level was there. I mean, it's not like you guys just kind of rode around doing circles. So talk to me about your third place run tonight. You got anybody you want to thank up for it, man?
Yeah, no, it was our entire team, SIM500 Mafia. Got to start with Tyler Dalton. He's helped us just a ton get better as a group. Jose Gonzalez, Glenn Campbell, Mike Montesi, Ron, Bobby, Brian. I mean, Kevin. There's a whole host of our guys that get together, and I mean, people like David and Parker and Falkingham. I mean, Coleman. There's so many of these guys. Jimmy Coleman mentioned him on our team, but they just make us have to push that much harder. It's not fun coming in here every week, fighting your butt off to get a top 20, but it's worth it when you get a run like this. But it was pit stop call at the right time, knowing the field, knowing the guys. It was a long run race kind of feel to it, so I knew if I topped off I had nothing to lose. I've been running around 20th all night, so just a good call, man. Glad to be here. I've got to thank the NC 811 North Carolina call before you dig, 811 call before you dig, title sponsor of the series, and then also on the number 14 car. So just a big shout out to those guys. Glad we could represent them here in the top 3.
Glad to see you up here, brother. We've been rooting for you week in, week out. You just keep running into some bad luck. What are you looking forward to going to Indianapolis next week?
Well, first thing, John, I also got to thank you and this voodoo paint job on this car, because you put the 200-mile-an-hour paint on there like I asked you, so thank you for the car. But coming into Indy, I mean, heck, these tracks are real similar, so I felt like in the past I've run decent at Indy, and I really like this car. So as we get closer to the championship, run or the top 20 for playoffs, that's something big for me to get a chance to do it. So I'm hoping the same thing, just kind of play it smart and expect a race very similar to tonight.
Well, there you have it, folks. Third place finisher Joey Jattin, that 14 car. Joey, I'm glad you like that paint scheme, buddy. It's a nice, brilliant shamrock green for you. And next week at Indianapolis, it's going to look great in Victory Lane, right?
I sure hope so, John. Thanks so much for all y'all do, LSRTV, and congratulations to Comstock on the victory.
Thank you so much for your time, Joey. That's Joey Jattin in the 14 car. NC 811 call before you dig sponsored. Looks great on track. Y'all check it out. Here we go with tonight's unfortunate second place driver, Josh Parker. Led a few laps towards the end there. We really weren't sure, Josh, if you're going to make it to the end on fuel, and turns out you were about 210 yards short on the victory there.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had to save fuel till a little bit too late, and I thought I had it down perfectly, but Dave was catching me. I think on the final lap I was about 0.2 short, so I had to run that last lap hard, just pray. But yeah, I needed about another quarter mile, and I think I would have been all right.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker. I've lost a couple of those myself, and when you can see the finish line, it just hurts so much worse, man. But look, second place is nothing to shake a stick at, especially here in the SIM500 group. Congrats on that. Do you have anybody you want to thank for the second place run tonight?
Yeah, you guys are in the broadcast. Dave for running a good race, man. It's good to see him win. Everyone at team name, Chad's not here tonight, but Beasley, Comstock, Kevin, I don't know who I'm missing. Everybody, where's the channel? Who the hell is those guys? Who the hell is that? Byron, Dan. I don't know who the hell that guy is. All right, we're good.
I'm sorry. Let me compose myself for a second. Well, again, congratulations on your second place run. And I'm going to ask Joey, what are you thinking about going into Indianapolis next week?
You asked me this last week after New Hampshire. I said I thought I could win the next 3. Almost won this one, and I think I feel the same way about Indy next week. These are 3 good tracks for me, and yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to get back to back here, but like I said, I'm going to be just as confident next week.
All right, brother. We look forward to seeing what you bring us next week for some entertainment value, because I was highly entertained tonight, and I'm hoping that maybe the demon of fuel doesn't reach up and bite you next week, buddy.
Yeah, let's pray.
All right, brother. Have a good week. Thank you so much for your time. Josh Parker, folks, in that number 81 car. A heartbreaking second place finish. I mean, it's a great second place finish when you're, running so well, but man, to see that finish line and just run out of the gas right there. But hey, let's talk to the guy that benefited from that. Dave Comstock, our winner tonight at the NC811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series at Pocono. Dave, what a race, brother. Way to be there at the end, too.
Yeah, that was way closer than what I thought Josh, any of those front guys on that restart going to the end could make it. So I was like, last lap there, I got into his draft and I had burnt the front tires off, knowing once I was good with how much fuel I had left that I could just try to charge and get to the lead no matter what. I roasted the front tires, so just the last lap, especially being behind in his dirty air, I couldn't turn, and I was going through turn 3. And I'm like, ain't no way he's gonna make it. Ain't no way. We're in the same channel. We come off 3, and he's like, I'm sputtering, and he's just like he went. And I thought he was gonna kind of drop low, and he kind of stayed in the groove, and I almost did what Edwards did to Stenhouse that one year at Iowa, and just about plowed in the back of him and pushed both of us across the line and then pushed him to the win. But I zigged just at the last second, and gosh, it's been a while, so good to get one again.
Hey, man, to get a win here in this group, you've got to admit, is definitely a feat. I mean, you've got a lot of great drivers out there on track. Even, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, it was a fuel win, but a win's a win, especially here in the SIM500, correct?
Oh, yeah. Pretty much every series it's got any one of these guys that's going to be competing in it in any night. So, and then you get all of them here in Monday nights and Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights especially. So to run up against these guys and the way this car is, it's it's good to be competitive when I have been, and I've had those top 5 runs and stuff, and I've been I've had an interview here and there, but I haven't been close to having a shot at a win. And so that last yellow that had come out, big apologies to Nelson Rivera. That situation, I hate that had happened. It was just a squeeze situation. I thought the 31 was going to come up, and I was trying to just tuck up to Nelson and just hoping that the 31 wasn't going to keep going. And I should have backed out of it in hindsight, but I didn't. So big apologies to Nelson for spinning him out. Was not intentional whatsoever. But once that situation played out and I saw how many laps we had left and I heard about the fuel window earlier, I felt like my only shot of trying to recover for what I thought was going to be just a decent finish, maybe to get back to top 10, top 5 where I was running, was pit, cycle back around again, top off, and any chance I had to try to lay in the draft some, even when I got kind of where I had nobody behind me and I can just go into the corner, and I was able to save some fuel through entry of 1 and 3. Took every chance I could, and once I kind of got down to 10 to go and I knew where I was at, I can kind of start pushing a little bit more and kind of keeping those guys that I knew had come off and topped off coming to 1 to go, keep those guys in check and make sure that they didn't get by me either.
Well played, my man. Well played. I mean, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I really thought you were gonna run Parker over when he ran out. I was up there.
Me too, man.
I was in the server watching too, and I was watching from your point of view. And when it's like he just hit the brakes, man, right there when he ran out of gas. But well done, a great win, David. Congratulations on it, man. And why don't you go ahead and thank your sponsors and stuff real quick.
Thank you. And thank you for not asking me about Indy, because I sucked at turn 2 tonight, and there's 4 of those corners next week. There's 4 of those corners next week, and I gotta work on it because I sucked tonight at turn 2. Anyways, appreciate NCAA1, Call Before You Dig, for sponsoring Monday nights here, SIM500, all the leagues and the admins that run the leagues here. Appreciate all the work that they do. Appreciate you guys for broadcasting with LSRTV. Team name, all my teammates and support. Falkingham, that Richard Beasley guy, Kevin DeBrown, Josh Parker, Chad Coleman, who MIA, I guess he was in Lightning Storm or something. I call bullshit. Byron Daly, And who else am I missing? Did I get Falkingham? Who cares about him? He wins too much. Appreciate Monster Energy and everybody out there watching. Thank you, guys.
And thank you so much, David, for the candid interview there and your time on the microphone here tonight. We will see you next week in Indianapolis, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
And there you have it, folks. Dave Comstock, tonight's winner, coming home first after not running over Josh Parker, his teammate, who ran out of gas. Unfortunately, coming off of turn 3, just look at the finish line, runs out of gas. Does come home second place, though. And we're going to wrap it up tonight. But before we do that, I would like to apologize for the language that was heard over the air tonight. We here at LSRTV try to maintain professionalism all times. And I myself slipped up a couple times tonight, and I do want to apologize for that. But we hope to see you folks back here next week for the NC 811 Call Before You Dig Next Gen Cup Series for the SIM500 group. They're going to be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the big one, the really big one, the 2.5-mile, well-renowned track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 4 corners, just like turn 2 here at Pocono. We saw this week. We should see a great week, a great race next week. So please stop on by and check us out. Same bat channel, same bat time. Myself,